Coming up on today's race room, we've got mega MotoGP action.
And Moaning Martha is at it again.
This horrible Lambo.
And we're talking happy slapping.
Oh, are we?
Welcome to this week's race room. Ben has got your fast fact.
In touring car racing, there's always a very fine line between what is too much contact and enough contact when trying to overtake other cars. And in the British Touring Car Championship last weekend, and DTM as well, we probably saw an overstepping of that contact. I'm here in the centre of London to try and explain the difference between too much contact and not enough contact when it comes to chatting a girl up. A little bit of light contact, not a problem. Even slightly heavier to let them know you're there. But it's when you start trying to push your luck that trouble occurs.
Time for the news now, and Marc Marquez won the MotoGP this weekend in Aragon. He took pole position and then the victory. He had to beat off his teammate Dani Pedrosa and Jorge Lorenzo, but he now leads the championship 39 points ahead of Jorge Lorenzo. It was his 6th win.
The biggest story though from the weekend was the clash between the teammates Dani Pedrosa and Marc Marquez, racing very close towards each other. Marquez making a small mistake in one of the corners. He ran wide, clipped the rear of Dani Pedrosa, and Pedrosa went flying, a huge high-sider, hurting his knee and his hip when the traction control cable snapped off. Amazing. It's not the first time that Marquez has done this either. He had contact with Rossi and also this moment with Lorenzo in Jerez. He's a naughty and fearless man.
Sergei Sorokin was busy in a Formula 1 car. It was his first time in an F1 car, and he was going for a lap around Sochi circuit at the Olympic Park in Russia. Looked like that in April. It's now looking a little bit better. Here he is in the car. He's probably going to drive for Sauber next year, but at the moment he doesn't have a super license. But seeing as his dad bought the team, I'm sure he can find a way to get him a license before next year.
We had a couple of championships wrapped up last weekend and another one this weekend, with the DTM Championship being wrapped up. Augusto Farfus qualifying very well, pretty much leading from lights to flag, but it wasn't enough to stop the championship being finished. A great moment in the middle of the race, however, this marshal here managing to press the fire extinguisher on Dirk Werner's car when he crashed into the wall, and covering poor Dirk in fire extinguisher and suffocating him in the car. Thankfully he walked away. So it was Farfus who took the victory and the full points, but it wasn't enough points to prevent Mike Rockenfeller from becoming the 2013 DTM champion.
And looking ahead to 2014, it's going to be a busy year. Calendars have just been announced for F1, for World Rally and for Formula E, and it's already looking incredibly busy with a lot of potential clashes and logistics being one of the big issues. And that is even before we've added in the World Rallycross Championship that has just been announced. So a hectic year, and that leads nicely into Moaning Martha, and she's worrying about her air miles.
I'm a bit of a jet setter, I know, you can tell, but the proposed F1 calendar for 2014 is preposterous. 22 races here, there and everywhere. And Malaysia and Australia aren't back-to-back anymore, so that means I've got to hang around in Australasia for a week. And then Malaysia and Bahrain are back-to-back, so that means I'll be away for a month. I don't think I've got enough clean knickers, and who will feed my pussycats? Then later on in the year, we've got 3 races back-to-back. Monaco, New Jersey and Canada. Well, my air miles are going to be sky high, excuse the pun. No, jokes aside, that is physically impossible. And I thought we were all meant to be cutting costs. Well, flying teams and cars around the world isn't exactly cheap. And then if we start rotating crews, well, that won't help with the driver-engineer bond, will it? So come on, Bernie, stop playing tricks with us. Get rid of Grand Prix like Korea and cut the list down to about 18. That way the teams won't get so tired and I won't end up with a deep vein thrombosis.
We've been trawling the internet for the best tweets of the week. Let's see the first one.
At Roberto Ostini. At Jason Plato, you may have won races today, but I got to KFC just as it was closing. All this for a tenner.
Yes, this isn't exactly the diet of a racing driver. Poor Rob Austin obviously was able to head to KFC before Jason Plato. And then that leads nicely into the second part of the conversation.
At Top Leighton, sex might have been the breakfast of champions, but they have KFC for dinner.
And this is with reference to James Hunt's overalls.
Actually, it was Lord Hesketh that came up with the idea of sex, breakfast of champions. But yes, James Hunt always had it on his race suit.
And Rob Austin, so nearly like James Hunt, but he has KFC for dinner.
Like KSI.
So many links. Next tweet.
At Official Minis, Spanish anthem, the official MotoGP anthem of the 2013 season. Will we hear another one before the end of the year?
Yes, we've been hearing the Spanish anthem quite a lot this season in MotoGP.
Well, you've got to give it to him, Marc Marquez. Doing a good job.
Absolutely, and Pedrosa, and Lorenzo.
Yeah.
Haven't really heard the Italian very much, but never mind. And then
Formula One, it's all Germany, Germany, Germany.
I know that song off by heart now. Next tweet.
At Boss Luxury UK, pink. This was done for a girl's bucket list.
I love this.
No, that's horrendous.
I love this.
That's horrendous.
No, I love this. I think this is absolutely fantastic. What a great shade. What would you call that? Like
pink. Horrible pink.
Bubblegum pink?
No, just horrible pink.
Penelope Pitstop pink? Danny Lambo pink? Keep an eye on the channel because we are going to have a tour of Danny Lambo's Lamborghini Murcielago. And that was in orange, but
take that off the screen.
Maybe he wants it in pink. I'll have it in pink. Next week.
At Loeb Seb 1, heading into 168th WRC event. 78 wins, 116 podiums, 896 stage wins, 20 retirements, oh yes, 9 world titles and that Pikes Peak run.
What a phenomenal load of stats here. This is awesome.
That's a stat load.
That is a stat lobe.
Stat lobe.
Love that. Overlobe. Way too much. So many facts and figures. It's going to be the most emotional weekend. I'm quite excited. We're heading out to Rally France tomorrow and...
Right, Sebastian Loeb isn't finishing, he's not disappearing, he's not going to Hawaii to live on a boat or something. He is continuing motorsport, just in a different discipline, yes?
That's true, but World Rally is his thing. That's what he's best known for.
And World Touring Cars will be his thing next year.
He's closing a book. Another one will open.
Exactly.
At STF1, is it too early to eat this?
85 days until Christmas.
I'm unamused.
Yeah, but Christmas pudding, I love Christmas pudding.
I'm unamused. Take it away.
I think we should have
End
one.
the tweets
He's
now.
so negative today. Where are we heading this weekend, Ben?
What would you believe? It's October already, first week of October. And obviously you are going to cover the Rally of France, and that is where the championship surely will be finally wrapped up.
It has to be. Ogier could win it on the first stage, in the power stage.
It's been a month.
And that's where it is, Strasbourg. We're heading there tomorrow.
Clearly there's also Formula One in Korea, over here in South Korea, rather than North Korea.
A long journey for all the F1 lot.
And there's IndyCar as well, the penultimate round of that championship, and we had a championship could be wrapped up there in Houston, Texas.
Oh yes.
Luckily, it's marked. Was that you were worrying?
Texas is marked.
You were worrying.
And
yes,
the biggest news.
The biggest news.
Ben Costin-Duras.
Yes.
Where will you be racing this weekend?
I am actually behind the wheel at Donington this weekend.
If you've got free afternoon, fancy seeing something quite entertaining. There we go. Fill your boots.
Fill your boots. There you go.
Across
the world of motorsport.
Love that. Keep an eye on the channel. Of course, comment below. Tell us what you think of everything. And subscribe.
See you next week.
Bye.
So, I'll show you that now.